Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to see a different way to use descriptions or to differentiate which particular thing or person is referred to. It is something called relative clauses. A relative clause is a part of a sentence that indicates or shows a particular thing or person as a characteristic. Important. A relative clause is not a sentence, it is a part of a sentence. And we'll see that later in the course. Take a look at this. If I say, my best friend is a teller, your best friend is a what? Yes, she's a teller. A teller is a person who receives money and cashes checks at the bank. Now pay attention to this. There is a groundhog in my garden. There is a what? A groundhog. It's an animal. It is an animal which looks like a rat, digs holes, and eats plants. The relative clause helps you differentiate the particular person or thing. If I say, a teller is a person, you can't get the complete idea. I need to give you more information. What is the characteristic of that particular person? That the person receives money and cashes checks at the bank. For the groundhog, what is the characteristic of that particular animal? That it looks like a rat, it digs holes, and that it eats plants. Relative clauses are very common, and you probably use them without knowing. And that is because there is one particular relative pronoun that is used for almost everything. That. A teller is a person that receives money and cashes checks at the bank. A groundhog is an animal that looks like a rat, digs holes, and eats plants. So it goes like this. To indicate a person, use who. To indicate a thing, use which. And to indicate either a person or a thing, use that. Here are some examples of the main mistakes we can make. Number 1, verb conjugation. A fan is the electronic device that or which blow air to cool a room. The mistake is that it is singular. A fan is the electronic device, that is the subject for the relative clause, which blows air to cool a room. Remember, when it is singular, you have to conjugate in present for third person. Now look, a fan has blades that or which blow air to cool a room. In this case, it is not singular, it is plural because we have blades. So in this case, we do not need to conjugate the verb. Number 2, avoid the double subject. A Komodo dragon is a reptile which it kills its prey with a venomous bite. In this case, we do not need to use it because we have reptile. A Komodo dragon is a reptile which kills its prey with a venomous bite. Now, let's make it more interesting, shall we? For things, we can see agree is a verb that is used when you share an opinion. Sugar is the ingredient which makes fruit water tastier. Ready for some magic? Agree is what is used when you share an opinion. Sugar is what makes fruit water tastier. Pay attention to see how we can change the a, and the thing that something for what. Food, shelter, and water are everything that is necessary to survive. Food, shelter, and water are what is necessary to survive. Now, the basic rule is that you can change the and the, every, and something that for what. Important, you can't say an, the, every, something, what. A smartphone is something that is essential for people these days. A smartphone is what is essential for people these days. Now, probably the idea is not the same, but you get the point. One more thing. Let's see the difference between that and what. Think about it. Pause the video, and when you are ready and you think you know the difference, continue the video to see if you have the correct idea. What is the difference between the next two expressions? I don't remember that I told you. I don't remember what I told you. Pause and continue when you are ready. What is the difference? I don't remember that I told you indicates that I don't remember the fact that I told you. The idea is no recuerdo que te dije. I don't remember what I told you indicates that I don't remember the thing that I told you. So the idea is basically no recuerdo lo que te dije. Many times, usually, not always, but usually, what is used as lo que when you use it in affirmative sentences or in a clause. So, what is the difference? A paramedic is someone who is trained to provide care on site. A paramedic is someone who a person may need when they have an accident. A paramedic is someone a person may need when they have an accident. Observe the use of the relative pronoun that, which, or who is necessary. That happens when the subject does the action. In the latter two cases, there is a different subject, and the characteristic of the first subject is something or an action that the second subject does. When that happens, the relative pronoun is optional, and you can omit it to make your expression more practical. Remember that the person or thing is already mentioned, so you don't need to use an object pronoun after. For example, a saw is a tool which you can use it to cut wood by hand. A paramedic is someone who a person may need them when they have an accident. In both expressions, the thing or person was mentioned before. Tool is the equivalent of it, and a paramedic is the equivalent of them. Remember, we use them because we don't know if the paramedic is a man or a woman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first video for relative clauses. Remember that we are going to start a little easy, and as we continue, things will get interesting.